race the heart. Command Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan got the word. In the world of EV8 we play.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your pod father Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we're going to talk about, I am fresh back from MagicCon Vegas, and we're going to talk about some of the news and announcements from MagicCon Vegas.
Yeah.
Because you know they always drop the knowledge bombs on us.
Yes.
So we'll talk a bit about that. Aggro Jeff will make an appearance. We'll have some tales from the table. And that's about it. So let's get right into it. Aggro Jeff, what's aggravating you this week?
All right, well, so you know that moment when you're...
Oh, yeah. No, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Okay, that's it. We're done. Move on.
I know that one.
That moment when you realize that that you are regularly beaten by your worst demons, where the better angels are not prevailing. For me, it's patience. I have almost zero of it. I don't like to wait. I don't like to... So a good example would be we go to Disney World with the family, and I plan everything out so that we can accomplish the most fun. And my kids love to do pin trading, and my wife loves to walk around and shop. And I need to be a better husband and dad, because for them that's fun, but sometimes I'm like, it's not the right type of fun, right? Because the right type of fun is riding rides, but I have to take a step back and go, they actually enjoy doing these things,
Right.
so just let it happen, just let them have fun. Today, while I was sitting at lunch with Duncan, we were at Carrabba's, and we had decided to do the $10 add a meal thing, right? And they were taking forever to bring our check, and it just occurred to me in that moment, I'm extremely impatient. And then I went down a path in my head where I was like, I'm impatient in everything I do. And I make other people rush. And I'm rushing this poor waitress. And I rush my family. And it was just downhill from there. And so here I am to vent to all of you. And maybe you could also understand these moments where our better angels don't prevail. But that's my frustration for today, my Aggro Jeff.
So, just for context, after we order the $10 take-home meals, like 5 minutes later, he's like, what is taking so long? I'm like, I'm pretty sure they have to cook them. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're right. So,
This is insane.
You would think that would have alleviated it. It didn't.
No.
I agreed that was true. I still was very aggravated. Now, of course, I'm very nice and kind to everybody, but on the inside, I'm fighting back like, I need to get up and go find someone. Why am I not leaving yet? I actually do that also when people have drinks and they take a while to drink them. When my meal's done, I'll get up to leave, and they'll be like, we're not done drinking yet. And I'm like, oh. So, yeah, pretty bad. I don't know if anyone else is like that. If you are, please write in.
I mean,
tell us.
luckily we're not like that, because Jeff's turns do test our patience when he does in that rear race.
Well, you gotta think if you want to win. Maybe you guys should try that.
I mean, you gotta cook if you want to eat.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have to cook if I want to
Well,
eat.
not you personally, but somebody does.
Yeah, someone does.
But okay, well, I get that. All right, not one of your worst ones, so
At least a little bit about cheese.
Yeah.
That was a great one. Very true.
so
A lot of people have told me that was a good one.
we'll have a tales from the table. You can
Yeah.
tell us about how the league went, the
Yeah.
Recon League, since I wasn't here because I was in Vegas.
Yep, so Duncan wasn't here to hold down the ship and destroy everybody. So it was a pretty good week, though. A little more people showed up this week than we did last week. And it's been consistently around, I would say, about 12 to 15-ish people a week have been showing up, which is really cool because it's, there's always at least 3 to 4 pods. And, it's always a pretty decent-sized people in the league gathering, and we are coming up to the end.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks. It'll actually be 1 week from when this basically comes out. We have this weekend coming up, and then next week, and then league.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 more weeks, and then league's done. So we're coming up on the end here. But yeah, I did okay. I drew, lost, unfortunately. So 2 draws and a loss. So did not advance my score that way. But I will say, all 3 of the games that we played, even the one where we lost, was very close. And so you can definitely see the difference in the games from
Did
when
you
the
just
league.
refer to yourself as a we?
No, there's other players in the game besides him.
Yeah, but did they lose with him?
Yes.
Oh.
When
So the we that lost, all like you
Either
represent
one
all the
person-
people at the table who lost.
Yeah, either one person wins or everyone draws. And
Okay.
so, in the games where it was an outright win for one player and there was a loss for everybody else or a draw, you can definitely tell the drastic swing and difference between week 1 where there was no packs added to your pre-con to now coming up on week 9 and we've had 8 weeks worth of packs opening and adding to the deck. And so it's been really cool. I would say that this week we had a couple of cool plays in the league itself. There's a couple of guys. There's one game where one guy got out, and by turn 5, I think he had 15 mana out. It was insane.
That's nutty.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was really cool. But the tale that I do want to tell is actually after league, we played one game of just Commander with a couple of the guys sitting around still, and I busted out Hope from Final Fantasy, which, in case you don't know, he's 1 white, 1 blue, lifelink. Whenever you gain at the beginning of your end step, however much life you gain, each opponent mills that many cards.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So first game I'm playing with them, I get my first hand, first card in my hand, Sarah Ascendant.
I'll do it.
And it was off to the races. I think I had everyone milled over half their library by turn 5. It was awesome. It was super fun.
Did you win?
I didn't win because they're all like, okay, we need to have cards. We need to kill you. I'm like, that's fair. Like, I deserve
That's the
it.
tough thing about Mill. It's like,
Well, and lifelink, because I'm not only are you down at least 30 to 40 cards, but I'm also up like 40 life. So it's two really bad things put together in one, which is kind of why I love it. So, but super fun. I really enjoyed actually the deck. I'm still tweaking a little bit to upgrade it, but that was super fun. The first game I got to play with them, dropping Sarah Ascendant turn 1 is always cool. When you
Sarah
get to do that.
Ascendant, no matter what you do, is always good.
Yeah, especially when you get a turn 1 drop. Like that's primo Sarah Ascendant.
Is it a human? I think
Yeah, it's a
in
human
my
mom.
human's deck,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
know when my son plays it against me and he gets that, it's always like, oh yeah, what am I supposed to do now?
Right, because it's a 1/1,
'Cause
but
you're down
it-
so much life by the time you can deal with it. You're like, good grief.
Yeah, the big thing about it is if you have 30 or more life, it actually gains +5/+5 in flying.
Yeah.
So it becomes a 6/6 lifelink flyer.
For 1 mana.
For 1 mana.
So,
Wild.
Yeah, great card, love it. So
me and some of the other players at the shop one time did a test build, and it was with a Heroes of the Realm commander, so something that only exists in Wizards employees have it.
right.
But this allowed you to bring any creature as a second commander. So we tested that, and we said, all right, nobody be cheesy, no Dockside, because this was back when Dockside was legal.
Right.
And Lizard chose Sarah Ascendant.
Yeah.
It was gross. The only thing grosser was my Mossborn Hydra.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time a player plays a spell, +1/+1.
Yep.
Yep.
That'll be crazy too.
Oh, that's crazy. So,
Yeah.
but we had good times. It was super fun. Mike got to come out again that we work with here. So, but yeah, we're all heading towards the finish line here. Interested to see who takes down the league with only a couple weeks left.
Yeah, I think it's already decided.
Yeah, I know there's at least 1 to 2 people who have won pretty consistently every week. But
I only know of one.
But I do know that one of the people who was winning a lot recently has not been winning because everyone's been keeping them
Yeah,
from
so,
winning. So
I mean,
who knows?
Maybe in the last few weeks we can
Yeah.
let somebody else have a chance.
Yeah, well, we'll
Yeah.
see. So
That's cool. So let's get into the news from MagicCon Vegas.
yes.
So I'm not going in order that they announced it. I'm just kind of throwing them around.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And I did not tell these guys what the announcements were, and I know they don't tend to read a lot of the articles from MagicCon. So I wanted to get their live reactions. So the first thing is they're going to have 2 new types of in-store play events,
Okay.
specifically for Commander.
Okay.
One being Two-Headed Giant, which I think we're all pretty familiar with how
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
And the other being a Commander Box League. And a Commander Box League, it's a little pricey because each player gets a box to make a Commander deck from.
Oh, that's a smart play on their part.
Right.
If that actually works, which I don't think it will.
They've
but-
tested it. They've done it at events. They've done it at MagicCon.
I mean, I don't
It
think
does
enough
work.
people are going to buy boxes
Oh.
to do that.
I would.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, so what is the as of right now? What is the quoted price for the box event?
They didn't say,
Well, it would
but I mean, it
depend
would
on
be
the price of a box.
Yeah, but I mean, right now a standard box is about $150.
Yeah. Well, that's low, I think, actually.
No, that's
pretty average. It's
That's
usually
about
they're between 130 and 180 depending on the set. So
Yeah.
depending on how
Okay.
desired the set is, kind of changes it. But yeah, generally speaking,
That's
150
a
is a good
genius
average.
idea, if they can get that to work.
So, and the way it's gonna work is, you're gonna build the best commander deck you can from the cards in there. If you get multiples of a card, you're allowed to put it in there. And
Oh.
you don't have to follow the color restriction rules.
Oh, okay.
So you can do a commander and put any colors you want in there. However, cards that refer to your commander's color identity, like Arcane Signet, still matters. for
Right,
this
still
deck.
matters because it's Arcane Signet.
So-
You can't-
Okay, so they're making it very appealing
Yeah.
to want to play that, because they want you to buy that
I mean,
box.
think about Final Fantasy if you did that. There's so many, even Dragons of Tarkir.
Yeah, Dragons of Tarkir would have been insane too, because there's so many freaking banger cards in there.
Yeah.
It would, especially if you get access to all 5 of the cards that care about
Spider-Man's gonna
dragons.
be fun.
Yeah, Spider-Man would be really
I mean,
intense,
every
too.
deck is going to have, every set is going to have, if you do this, it'll be kind of fun.
So my worry is, I mean, our shop sells out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna have the boxes to support this unless Wizards
Well-
is going to start producing more
Right.
boxes.
How terrible would it be if they had to buy more boxes? Are you saying
It's-
they can't buy
They
more
can't.
boxes?
They can't,
They
right,
get an
yeah.
allocation.
Yeah.
They tell them how many they want, and then their distributor says.
But
what they're
as you
selling.
sell more, don't you get your allocation increased?
To a certain degree, but like there's a finite number of boxes.
Right. There's only so much that your vendor can, send you.
I don't think, I can't imagine Magic is not selling cards if they can. So I'm sure they have a plan for that.
But
Because
they may be making more boxes.
Right.
for
It
this.
might be the fact that they're actually going to intentionally be upping the amount of boxes. that
They may
produce.
spend WPN stores like X boxes for just this purpose.
Right.
Yeah,
And
they
it's-
gotta be doing that, because they have so many cards for Magic are just sitting in, like, they're secretly dumping them in landfills, like, they have extra stuff.
Well, that was one time. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's one time they were caught.
Right,
I
yeah.
guarantee you they're doing it, because you can't release it in the market. It's like inflating the dollar.
Right. But anyway, so that's the 2 new Commander Play events that they've come out with.
So Two-Headed Giant I can definitely see being really easy for a store to adapt to, because the nice thing about Two-Headed Giant is even if you have, people bringing their own decks for that event, a lot of times because you're going to have a second teammate, they might have the stronger deck. So even though yours might not be great, because it goes well with what your deck does, it makes your deck even better.
Yeah, so do you guys want to explain that just for people who don't know what it is?
Yeah.
Just real quick.
So Two-Headed Giant it's 1v1, but you're teammates. So it's 2 people versus 2 people. And then the 2 people on each team take their turns at the same time. And there are certain cards that say your team or a teammate or what you can target your teammate's stuff as if it's yours. Now you still have your own lands that you have to tap and use. And but when it comes to attacking and blocking, all of your creatures can attack and all of your creatures can block for each other.
What do you bet that they have a set coming out to focus on Two-Headed Giant?
Well, they did a Battle Bonds set a little while ago that
Yeah.
would fit well with it. If they did another Battle Bonds type set.
They might be doing that.
Maybe.
Yeah. And
I
then-
do have some discussion points on new sets coming up. too,
Yeah,
so.
and so, and then the other one regarding the box thing, I definitely think it's a good idea. I think it could be cool.
I don't know how many people can afford it.
Right, that's
and I
my
don't
only-
know how many people will be able to do it because of how many boxes. We'll have to wait and see.
And the other thing is too, is like, is it, hey, so for this set, because the next set doesn't come out for 6 weeks, it's a 6-week league.
No, so it's
Or is it
not-
just like a one-night
It's
event
a
in your
one-night
night?
event.
See,
It's
that's the
like-
other thing to
and
me
it's
that's a
supposed
little-
to line up with pre-release.
I also,
So while they're doing pre-release, you're gonna have the other part of the
Yeah,
shop.
see, that's hard too, because it's like, at our shop, they filled up the entire shop for pre-release one
Well,
night.
they did for Final Fantasy. Most sets.
But
it's
they
not
even did for
quite-
Tarkir.
Yeah.
That was 2 sets
yeah,
in a row.
but not everyone is at our shop. So there are shops that could probably do this.
And remember,
There are
they
larger
have
shops.
some spare space in our shop.
Yeah, with the new location.
I think it's a really good idea, because I think it also, when you do the build the deck out of a smaller set of cards, you increase the likelihood of someone drawing into something amazing and offsetting the whole group. But when you have a whole box, the chance of getting lucky is actually spread out further, meaning you're more likely to end up with even set of cards from a bigger pool. So I feel like the games would be evener, Now, what?
Or more even.
Yes, that's a better way to say it. Now, the other thing that's tough is it will lend itself to the people who can deck build better.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have to think, if they're gonna do it like pre-release, right? You have what is it, 30 minutes or 45 minutes to build
I
a deck?
imagine you'd have to have more for Commander.
Right. So even if, let's say they give you an hour, right? So your pre-release deck box Commander event starts at 6. They give you an hour to build the deck. Anyone who is more skilled and knowledgeable at the game is going to destroy anybody who's there for the first time to join
I
this
can't see
event.
it being under 2 hours to build. Just opening the packs.
So even that, so let's
Just
say it's
opening
2
the
hours.
packs.
You're not even starting to play games until after 8. Like,
Yeah.
that's for a lot of people. I mean, listen, I'm kind of old.
Well,
That's
why,
I wonder-
why can't they do it on a Saturday?
Well, even if you do it on a Saturday, that's my point.
If
Is
you start at 11 and then you're just going to play later.
But-
So for
but
those
again,
people
you're-
who buy a whole box, they might invest more time.
But you're also cutting out an entire demographic of people who might work regular hours on Saturday. Like again, we have a little bit of a
that's a
skew
much
because
smaller demographic.
Or maybe it's a
So-
whole weekend thing. Like maybe you build on Friday and play
and
on
then
Saturday.
yeah, I mean that I could see working. Like you come in and pick up your box. Now the only downside is they
Yeah,
have to
how do
keep you
they
in the
control what you put in there?
Well,
Right,
what they
you
do at our
keep the
shop,
box.
you keep the box, and then if you can come back the next day to keep building, but you get the box that night, you can open it, and then you have to leave the box at the shop with your name
Okay,
on
I like that.
it. Like what we do for the league. You know, we can't take any of the stuff on.
We don't know the full details on it.
Right. So this is all just I can definitely see it being a good way
I mean,
to get more people.
For the
into
Commander
it, but-
players that are going to buy a box anyway,
Yeah. There's a lot of Commander players who already do buy boxes, that's true. So, gives them
there's a
more,
lot of us deviants out there.
yeah. Gives you more reason to do it.
So anyway, but those are the 2 new events. Next one is art cards will no longer come in
Thank
play
heavens.
boosters.
I hate those cards.
I love those cards.
So when you, because
And-
on the sheet it says canceled. Are they
I
just
know, because
out?
I didn't want to tip off what was really happening. They're out of the play boosters, they're in on the collector boosters.
Ugh.
Okay.
They don't do anything.
They're worth money.
Whatever.
Well, they're not really.
The
Most
thing,
of them
I
are.
mean,
Most of
so the ones that you get signatures on, the ones that are like gold signed, those ones actually, even from like Lord of the Rings and up till now, are actually worth something. Like my buddy pulled the art card for Sephiroth signed by him, and that one is like $15 right now, or $20. And
Well, again, that's an extreme case because
Right.
that was drawn by the guy that
right.
did the original.
But
thing.
even the ones for Lord of the Rings are still worth money. I think the gold signed ones, a couple of those are about like $8 to $10.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you just gotta go through all your cards. Like I have a ton of those.
I like the art cards.
I love them.
I think it is a way to ground people in the art, and for the people that do like the art, it's a way to do it. I don't know though about putting them in collector boosters. I'm more upset that they put them in collector boosters than I am that they took them out of.
But I guess the question is, does it count against the card count in the pack?
Yes, it does.
So it will be one of your 12.
Yeah, there's no way they're not going to do that. It's
No,
gonna
but
be-
it doesn't
Well-
matter. If you're gonna put them in collector's boosters, that makes sense, because who wants those art
But
cards?
I
Collectors.
think like play boosters right now, they're not in every collector booster.
Right.
I think now they're in 1 out of every 4 play boosters.
Something like
So it's
that.
probably gonna be
It
the
also
same.
might make them worth more money because you can only get them in collectors.
Right, which is probably what they want to do, is they want to show value in them, and so now if you put them only in collector's packs, then that shows that they're more valuable now.
Right.
They look awesome.
and-
What I think about when I see them is, why can't my card just look like this?
You need
Yeah, I'm
words.
actually
Right.
surprised. I'm
I
actually
gotta
surprised you don't like them because of the fact you're more of the art.
I
Art lover.
like them, but I don't like the value of them. Like, I'm paying for a pack and getting what's essentially a wasted card. Now, I like them more than I like getting random. Like, what's that token that doesn't have anything on it? It's
Oh.
like a.
So part of this, by the way, they will not have advertising in the play boosters either.
Oh,
That's
shit.
also nice.
Like those cards that are just, like you said,
Yeah.
it's nothing. You can't play with it. It's
Yeah.
just an advertisement.
Yeah, I'm like, what's the point of this
Yeah.
wasted cardboard?
Yeah, hey, thanks for buying a Magic Gathering pack. Have you ever heard of Magic the Gathering? Yeah, no, I just opened a pack. I'm pretty sure I know
It
what
should
is.
say, congratulations, you got 1 less card than you could have.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't even give you a token, we gave you this.
But you can go online and then buy this same exact pack for this other game that's the exact same game called Arena.
But even the tokens, like I wish they could do the tokens like the art cards. Like just do the art card, but make it a token and have it look awesome.
So
Instead of the framed out, so I don't need that. It's a bird. Put tutu on it. We're
That
done.
is a really good idea.
So
but
wait,
just
here-
make them look good.
here's the point though. You can use those art cards as tokens if you
Yeah.
want. No one's gonna be mad
but
at you.
they're not the tokens.
Well, who
for
cares?
People, I know, I get it, you can do that, but I want the actual token that says the stuff. You can
Like,
make
it
cool
is
cards.
true, when it says flying and vigilant, you want to say that because
Sure.
people forget.
Yeah, I get that. But,
But
like, for
don't do the
example,
dumb box, just write it at the bottom, you already made this cool card, you
Or
can
just
do
make
it.
symbols that mean that.
I will say that in my Frodo, is it Frodo? No, not Frodo. There's a different red deck that I have, and I got the art card for, oh my gosh, the freaking mountain, what's it called? In Lord of the Rings.
Mountain.
Mordor?
Mordor, thank you. I got Mount Mordor, the art card, and I actually use it as a mountain in my deck because it looks so cool. I'm just using this
Which
as a
is
mountain.
fine, but what if they
So-
just made the mountains like that?
Well, they kind of did.
Well, they can do that. Just make them, but no.
But,
It's dumb.
Yeah, I do like the fact though that at least they're keeping them around. I'm curious to see how it goes with the collector boosters. Maybe it will make them more viable.
And I hope
but-
that the advertisement cards are just gone.
Yeah,
Because if I open collector booster
and there's one in there.
and one of them is an
you're-
advertisement,
But it'll be a really cool looking advertisement.
yeah, how much are those cards worth? Sloan?
It doesn't matter because when you open a pack of collectors, you're not getting your money back.
When
Can
anyway.
you imagine if
Year
it
off
turns
your
out?
life.
Can you imagine if it turns out that they're worth something?
Like we were
Like
just throwing them
the
away.
MTG stock guys are the only ones who know. They're like,
Yeah, these-
I have thought about taking them and like Mod Podging them and like putting them into a poster, like into a frame.
yeah. No, I mean, I love the art cards because I love the art. I did while I was there go up and talk to the artist. I saw Phil Stone, who's my, favorite artist just because of how personable he is.
Yeah.
He remembered me. He remembered the art he did for me, so it was cool. But yeah, I love the art. But so the next one, there are new options for your commander, starting with Edge of Eternity.
Oh, I actually did see this.
So starting with that, spaceships
I'm
and
so excited.
vehicles which have power and toughness printed on them can be your commander.
Oh, yes,
Interesting.
I'm there for that.
So right now, Shorikai is the only vehicle that can be your commander.
Yeah, but
Right.
the spaceships, I think, isn't there something else going on with the spaceships?
Yeah, it's like I
So
guess
they're
using-
weird. You can tap creatures to put counters on it. When it gets so many counters, it becomes a creature.
Yeah, it's almost like the crew mechanic, except it's hard to say because
It's
it's like
cumulative.
yeah, it's a cumulative crewing mechanic. So the more creatures you tap into it, you get the counters instead of it just.
All I know is I
crewing
want
it.
a spaceship deck. I'm so excited.
Well, there's
Babylon 5, please.
At least 2 spaceship decks for Edge of Eternity.
Oh,
nice.
so stoked.
So,
So stoked. And now we gotta partner with like Star Trek or Babylon 5 or something.
I thought Firefly was your favorite one.
Babylon 5 is my favorite one.
Okay.
Firefly's also got canceled too soon.
Still haven't seen either of those.
but so
I
that's
know.
You haven't seen, dude, it's not even hard to watch Firefly,
I
man. It's
know.
a
I
freaking
think-
movie in like 8 episodes.
I think it's on Amazon too, so
Yeah,
I could watch
please.
it.
Yeah.
I will try to watch it. Well, my wife's at VBS this week every night, so maybe I'll do it
Yeah.
this week.
But anyway, so look around at your old artifact creatures, your vehicles. That's what I'm trying to say.
Good grief,
Yeah, got
dude.
there.
Got
Words
it.
are hard.
Yeah. Go and look through them because maybe there's something that you're like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, and apparently look through your art cards too.
All right, so the next one is just for MagicCon fans. Amsterdam MagicCon is back in 2026.
Yep.
And also Atlanta will stay.
Mhm.
If you're going to Amsterdam to play Magic cards, just please email me. Just no, don't do it. Like even Vegas to play Magic is like. I mean, I get it, but I told Duncan, I'm glad you didn't play Magic the whole time. You got to go do stuff in Vegas. I mean,
Well,
it's
so
Vegas.
I also wanted to point out, so just the last thing on this, where MagicCon's going to be, Chicago is the one that's left out. So Chicago will not be next year, but Atlanta, Amsterdam, and Vegas.
Yeah, I hope that because our shop last year I think made it to the Chicago one, right?
They were at Chicago and Vegas. It was weird for me this year not seeing them at Vegas.
Right.
Why didn't they go this year?
It's a lot of work, and they
Okay.
have to put their application in, and since they were moving, it was just
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
they had a
hard.
lot of stuff going
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
they
it
did.
was too
So,
much.
but I
But you had a good time, right?
Oh, I had an awesome time. And what I was gonna say is, there's gambling type things happening at the booths because
it's Vegas.
this one specific shop had, you could buy blind bags that they built.
Of course.
They
I
had
love
the
it.
red one
Yeah.
for $10 or the black one for $50, and they showed you what you could
Isn't
get.
it a red pill and a blue pill? They should have done that.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. But the
Well, I think red and black for Vegas.
the red one you
Okay,
could
yeah.
get like dual lands and stuff, and then the black one you could actually get like beta stuff, like beta monsters.
That's how they
How
get
many
you.
bags did you buy?
I only bought one of each, and
They make your money back.
I didn't even get a rare out of either one.
Oh,
my gosh.
But they also had
Um,
a box,
yeah.
oh boy.
and in the box cost $500.
What's in the box?
And there were packs. You didn't know what packs you were gonna get. They could be old packs. They could be new packs. It could be a mixture.
Yeah, but
There were like promo cards type things, or like singles. And in there, like you could get some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like all the most expensive, like Time Walk. You know,
you could get.
you
But
could.
I mean, like,
Well,
the
no. Here's
likelihood
the
is
thing.
Very
They
low.
had up. They were smart. They had up the cards. You could get. There were one of each of these cards up there, right? And they had. Okay, I don't know. Let's say that there were 10 cards on the list. There were 20 boxes.
Okay.
So each time somebody got one,
If they didn't,
they would
pull it-
mark it off
Oh,
with the person's picture, so you could see, and you knew, you would walk around, oh, that guy got that.
That's
And
funny.
so the way
that's the guy we rob. That guy
Right.
right over there.
yeah, easy mark.
Yeah.
So
His picture's right there. He's got the
the way I
$2,000 card on it.
the way I found out about this is I was playing a game, and as we were ending the game in the command zone, this guy's friend came up. I was playing with this guy, and his friend came up. They're talking about what they're gonna do next. He's like, "Are you gonna get the box?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You pulled the dual in. I want to see what I can get." You know, so that's how I found out about it. But yeah,
Did
it
you
was-
buy one?
No, almost.
Wow.
I almost did. I was
Which you
so
could
close.
have gotten, Duncan.
And I actually walked away, and I was like, okay, that was the right decision. And I started thinking, there were only 4 cards left, and I think there was only 4 boxes left. That probably means one of those is in each of those boxes.
It would
Right.
have to be.
It would have to be, unless somebody took it and didn't open it in front of them, maybe, and then they didn't get to see.
Right.
But
Oh yeah, there's probably a lot of that.
I would doubt it, though. I think somebody would come back, I got it. You know what I mean? They'd want their picture up there for the
Yeah.
infamy.
Just
but
buy all 4 boxes.
still
and
walked
prove
away.
that those cards aren't actually in them.
Yes. But I did walk away. I was like, no.
Well, your wife is probably happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. So the next one, I think I will let Sloan announce. So they announced
Yes.
a card from Avatar.
They did. They announced a card.
This
and
card looks sick.
Probably the most important card. They announced Aang. And Avatar Aang. And if you want to go back and check the tapes, I said that if they make Aang, they got to make him flip. Like, that's got to be a thing because he has the Avatar state and then, you know, he can flip into something else. Sure enough, he is a flip card. I called it. Red, green, white, blue. Human Avatar ally, flying, firebending 2. Whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, or airbend, draw a card. Then, if you've done all 4 this turn, transform Avatar Aang. He goes from a 4/4 to a 6/6 Aang, Master of Elements. Avatar ally, flying, spells you cast cost Wooburg less to cast.
Ooh.
At the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Aang, Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4/1 counters on him, and he deals 4 damage to each opponent.
Yeah, but then you're not getting to cast cards for less.
Right, so it is an upkeep trigger.
If
So
you've got to
you
draw
can-
cards, though, it's worth doing.
Right, because you get 4 just from flipping
But
them.
we don't know how to flip them yet.
So
You just do it at the beginning of your upkeep for this part. But
We don't know
to
when the
flip
fire
them over
stuff
to flip them over to the Master of Elements side, I don't believe they officially.
they did not officially announce, but people
Right.
have speculated.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they believe that firebending is going to be the direct damage. They believe that the airbending is going to be the life gain. The
Oh.
draw is going to be the water bending, and then the counters is going to be earth bending.
So once you do all 4 of those things,
Right. So we
that
think.
doesn't seem that hard.
So, but it depends on if there's specific cards that say that on it. So when it says this, if it means you have to use that ability specifically.
That's true. Like
So-
those specific cards instead of any card.
You know,
Yeah.
like when they call it Manifest Dread instead of Manifest.
Right. So
Even though you're doing the same thing, no, has to say this.
right. So
Could be.
I
I'm-
dread that.
I'm really excited about this card for two reasons. One, they highlighted two of the most like pinnacle moments in the show. The Avatar state on the front side, Avatar Aang, that is actually from the scene where he's fighting Fire Lord Ozai at the end of the show, and he's literally, it's the last battle of the whole show. It's the pinnacle moment that everything's been leading up to. And then the other side, which is Aang, Master of Elements, is when he had to make the decision if he wanted to be able to completely control the Avatar state by becoming disconnected from everyone he loved. And so it's really cool that they use those two moments in the show to signify this card. Again, if you haven't seen the show, please go watch it. It is so well done.
Fine, I will.
It's
Stop
so
nagging
good.
me.
It's so good.
I'll watch it again so I know what the answer to this is if you watch Firefly.
Yeah, I'm going to try to watch Firefly this week since my wife's not going to be home, so no one can tell me no. Or my kids. They're not going to be home until 9 o'clock at night. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think that depending on what, all these bending elements are, like how they work and everything, I'm definitely excited to see how they use that in the world of Magic. But again, in my opinion, very easy transition from Avatar.
Well.
Yeah, it fits so
it's
well.
not like Warhammer.
Yeah, which is a little bit hard.
Or Doctor Who was weird.
Yeah, I would say that one was a little weird too.
I mean, I like both those franchises.
I gotta be
Let's
honest,
be honest.
the Edge of
so
Eternities is the one that feels weird to me.
It's
Like now that they've released some of the
Edge of
cards.
Eternities again?
That's
Is
the
that
spaceship
one?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually saw a video on that one, them talking about it, where basically Edge of Eternities is the world around the world of planes. So it's like how if you were to get stuck in between planes, you're at the Edge of Eternities, basically is what they said. So
Where you need spaceships, apparently.
right. So, but yeah, Avatar card. I'm super excited about this. I think they did a good job with it in regards to
It
the
looks
colors.
sick.
It looks gorgeous. The full art version. Hopefully, Duncan can.
It looks
put
like a
behind
full
us.
art card.
Right.
But maybe they listened ahead of time.
Right. I am excited to see what the rest of the cast members are from Aang and what they end up doing with them. Obviously, we're going to see earth bending, fire bending, and water bending on probably Zuko, Toph, and Katara. I will say, we were talking about it at the shop, I have another guess. It would be fantastic if they made Boomerang, and Boomerang's ability was something like if this gets destroyed, return it to the battlefield at the end of the beginning of the next M step, because Boomerang always comes back. So,
Right.
And it would be great if it equipped Tasaka for free.
Why does it say that your name, John, will discuss?
I did
It's
that
not
to
your-
see
it's
if he
not-
would catch it. I did.
It's not his
absolutely
name. His
caught
name
it.
is Sloan or Johnny.
Which technically, if my mom heard you call me Johnny, she'd be pissed. So.
Yeah, but Johnny is the correct
Right,
name.
well, I did it because he told everyone, it's, if you have to call me Johnny, but it's never John.
I don't go by John. Technically, I really don't even go by John.
I even caught that.
Yeah,
So,
good job.
yeah.
I go by Jonathan Sloan. But I digress. Yeah, so I'm excited about this. I think it's really cool. I think him reducing everything by Woobird makes sense when he's the master of elements.
Yeah,
kind of right off the
100%,
ink.
yeah.
So, and just the art and everything looks gorgeous. I think
It's
did a
very
good
cool.
job.
It's gonna be a cool set.
Very excited.
So, then the last one I have here is about the sets for 2026.
Yep.
So they announced we'll be returning to, well, first of all, they announced that there were only going to be 3 standard sets next year. Just straight standard.
I wonder if that has anything to do with foundations.
I think it has more to do with because they have Universes Beyond.
Oh,
being
that's
standard
right.
legal.
That's now standard legal, so they don't need to do extra.
They
that
don't
makes
need to
sense.
do as many sets.
Yeah, that makes
That's my guess. Because they did not announce any new Universes Beyond.
Gotcha.
But they did announce we will go back to Lorwyn with Lorwyn Eclipse.
I think I liked Morrowind.
Lorwyn was a great set. There's a lot of good cards from the Lorwyn set. That will be January 23rd, 2026.
Okay.
Apparently I fat fingered it and put 3036.
I was like, that's
That'll
a
be a
long-
long wait.
That's okay. We'll get there eventually. I'll probably
We
still be
won't.
alive.
Somebody will. And then they didn't announce the official release date, but early Q2 will be Secrets of Strixhaven. So we'll be going back to Strixhaven.
Yeah, which was the schools, if you guys remember.
Yeah, I don't think maybe this.
I thought it was a fun set. I didn't think they did as much with it as they could
Yeah,
have.
I think it was a little underwhelming comparatively, but
I mean, the only thing I remember about it is that D&D was better. The D&D Strixhaven stuff actually made D&D better.
one of your new favorite fog cards though came from Strixhaven, the ink one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the one that makes
Shield.
it ink. Yeah, Ink Shield I think came from Strixhaven. If I
I think
remember.
it was
A
before
favorite card I have
I
think it was
playing
reprinted.
any deck.
Oh, it might have been reprinted in it, but yeah, Inkling, the one that makes all the inks.
Oh, Yeah, it is Inkling. Is it Inkling or Ink Shield? I thought it was Ink Shield.
Ink Shield, I think is the name of the card. I think Inklings is what.
Yeah, is what you get, the
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah.
And there were some cool, like I like the mystical archives they did from that. I thought that treatment was cool.
Yeah.
And they reprinted some stuff.
Those were
that was
kind of
pretty
cool,
good.
yeah.
And then the quarter 3, we're gonna get another set that we don't know yet what that is.
Right.
And again, they didn't announce what Universes Beyond would be coming, but I'm pretty sure we'll get another Marvel set because they did say there would be pretty much one a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they either said or hinted at, they did say there would be multiple, and I think it was said one a year. And so I think we'll get that. Who knows what else, right? Nobody knows. But so I did think it was interesting that they did reduce the number of standard sets, and even with thinking about Universes Beyond,
Right.
I doubt they'll reduce their sets overall. I bet we'll still get 12 new sets next year.
You know what that means? 12 new keywords that you're in love with.
I mean, 12, we'll be lucky if it's only 12.
It's not 12. Usually the new keywords are only in the standard set, so that means only 3 new keywords, and like except for Universes Beyond.
I
Right.
don't believe it. How many did we get in new keywords did we get this year, or last year?
Oh, they bombarded us. They trolled
Well, the one
Duncan
set
so
had-
hard. 8.
No.
They trolled Duncan so hard. So hard.
So a side note, when I was talking to other creators about this at MagicCon, I
Yeah.
learned something I didn't know. So they have code names for the sets before they announce them.
Oh, okay.
So that if an employee wants to talk about it, they will use these code names so as not to give out information.
Right.
So in this one, Lorwyn Eclipse was codenamed Wrestling.
That's
Secrets of Strixhaven was Yachting.
yachting.
Yep. And the Unknown set was codenamed Ziplining.
Interesting.
So you'd be like, I'm gonna go work on yachting, and that way nobody would know they're gonna go work on Secrets of Strixhaven.
Oh.
So I didn't
So
understand
they're like,
that.
I'm gonna go work on wrestling.
So I
And you're
didn't
like,
understand
is
that.
he actually just going to wrestle,
I guess-
or is
I guess he's got a
where-
class now?
I don't know what
Is that a
he's doing.
euphemism? What's going on?
Is his wife involved in this? Will there be children that are born? We don't know.
I don't know.
But so when the people were talking about it, they're like, oh, the wrestling sets up Lorwyn Eclipse. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because at first I'm like, oh no, they're going to put
Yeah.
wrestling as a
Duncan,
mechanic.
that is the wrestling set. If you're gonna play the Lord
Yeah.
Eclipse, you gotta be able to wrestle.
Well, I know that would be the new
Wrestle.
mechanic. Wrestling.
Oh, it probably will be.
Which is just fight with like less real damage.
Well, and vehicles could be yachting.
Flip your cards, and if yours
And
lands on the other one,
equipment
it's a
could,
pin.
equipment could be
You kill it.
ziplining. We could do it.
Oh,
But I just thought that was interesting. I guess if somebody had asked, I would guess that they would code name, but I had never seen them written out like that before.
yeah. Did you get to enjoy any of the command zone?
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was not all the time because I did shop,
Yeah.
but a lot. I was there a lot.
You
What
said
was-
like 99% of the time you're playing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it couldn't be that long, but yeah, I was probably when I was at the convention, 90% of the time I was in the command zone.
Nice.
They did something really cool. So they had, I don't know if you want to call them just staff or maybe, I think they were also judges, walking about the command zone. And when you needed a player or you were looking for a table, they would assist.
That's
So
nice.
they would say,
That is
what,
cool.
they would say, what tier, what bracket do you want to play? So, you know, they had C, D, H, they would keep them together.
Keep all those degenerates together.
You know,
Yeah. Give them art cards. There you go. Or just the cards that advertise. Are you interested in Magic? Here you go. And then give everybody else the actual cards.
yeah, but I just thought that was really cool. They did a good job of that. I did think that Sunday it got a little. I think that went away a little bit. There seemed to be less of those guys doing it.
Yeah.
Probably,
That makes sense
Some
because
of
they
them went
cost
down home
money.
as well.
Yeah, and the wrap.
but I mean that was really awesome for getting people involved, getting people to play. Because what normally will happen is you'll see guys wandering around. You're in a full pod in the middle of a game. You can't help them, but you can tell they're wandering around looking for a game. And then you see them wander off, you know, and they just didn't know how to insert themselves or figure out where to go or whatever. So this was a great way to, you know, make sure that everybody got to participate. I thought it was awesome. there was one point where there was 2 of us sitting there. We just had a game with 4 and 2 of them had gotten up. And we're like, well, we still want to play. So one guy starts looking for us. And it's been about 2 or 3 minutes. And another staff member came up and it's like, are you looking for someone? We're like, yeah, somebody else is looking, but it's been a little while. We still haven't found anybody. He goes, I'll find them too. So he went off and sure enough, one of them, I can't remember which one, came back with 2 players and we were good to go.
There you go.
Nice.
They also would help if the tables were full and there was like 2 or 3 people that wanted to sit,
Yeah.
you know, and play together.
Mhm.
They would be real quick to claim a table for them. You know, they'd
Yeah.
go, as soon as the table opened up, they'd be like, all right, and they'd hold it and they'd call them over and
Nice.
then find
Because
their
you
last
pay to
player.
be in the command zone, right?
No, anybody, we paid to get in the event. Everybody who went to the event could get in. When I went to MagicCon 30, which was my first con,
You had
in
to pay
Vegas,
to get in.
you had to be one of the 2 top tiers, either the Ruby or the Black Lotus ticket.
So they
Gotcha.
fixed that too. So they
Yeah.
offered better service without having to pay more money. That's good on them, man.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have the command zone be pay to play. That's not,
Well, and it's named after the command zone, kind of, right?
no, the command
No?
zone is, I mean, it's named after, which command zone? It's not named after the show.
The podcast.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because they're very linked to it.
No, they're not. The command zone is where you keep your commander. So
Yeah.
that's why the Command Zone podcast calls himself that, and that's why the area for play is called
So it
that.
has nothing to do with the podcast?
no.
Okay, well, good for them.
But they were
that
there
managed
also
to
though, right?
Get into the name.
The actual
Excellent.
podcast that Command Zone was there, and they did their
Yeah,
live game, right?
They did their live game. Now, I am not calling them out by any means. I'm
Okay.
not trying to.
It's about
But I
very
will tell
tough
you,
vote
gonna-
right now.
who's gonna-
Some of the
Over here.
creators.
Yeah, I already angered all CDH. By the way, I'll take Charles Barkley on that. I'm not apologizing. Write in all you want, I don't care.
But, so Command Zone had their thing, I think it was Friday.
Yeah, their
They
game.
may have also had things Saturday. You never saw them other than that.
Yeah.
But
They-
you never saw them.
I don't believe they even had meet and greets. I might be wrong about that.
I mean, they posted a lot of pictures with fans, so I don't.
Okay, so maybe they did have meet and greets.
Yeah.
In previous years, I never saw them out, but like some of the other creators, you saw them in the Command Zone, you saw them on the floor. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh yeah, I saw them on the floor."
They might not have had.
I mean, maybe they're too busy.
They might not have.
Yeah,
had time
I mean,
to
'cause
play.
they are-
They,
Yeah.
they may be too popular, and it may be too ridiculous when
Yeah.
they come out.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure
that's
it
very
is.
possible.
Yeah.
But it's also disappointing. It's like I'd love to like bump into them accidentally or see them, even just see them off in the distance walking around. Like, oh, that's cool.
I mean, I bet they were there walking around to some degree, but they were probably mostly at events that people were going to see them, I would think.
Yeah, because I gotta imagine, because they were probably recording a bunch of stuff and doing promos, and you know.
What they do is a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's not like the other creators, like they do some meet and greets, maybe they even have a panel, and that's it. But the Command Zone panels are like full blown like events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they had game nights live.
Yeah, so
Where
they're
they're playing and so they do more when they're up there.
Yeah.
It probably does take a lot out of them.
Yeah.
They probably do have other commitments and other things they are supposed to be doing.
But they should still be better.
yeah, just everybody be better.
Josh, if we could just have a moment here, bud.
Listen, we'll call you us three
Duncan
versus
would
you
like
three.
you, yeah,
Go.
Duncan would
Triple
like
head
you
giant.
to just be more available for
Yeah,
people.
just for me.
just for
If Duncan doesn't see you, you weren't there.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, Josh, I know Jimmy, you can't figure out lands, but figure this out, please. Heaven's sakes.
Oh my goodness.
We got it.
start
We
a
got you
feud.
covered now, Duncan.
All right, thank you. I appreciate
We
it.
got you covered.
But all in all, it was a really good con.
Awesome.
I will say, because of the Final Fantasy is why I believe this next statement to be true, it was way more packed than any of the other cons I've gone to.
Yeah, I did hear that from some of the people I follow as well. They said that, I think they said that this was the most consistently packed convention they've had yet, where every day was just boom.
Yeah,
boom,
Friday,
that's,
boom.
that's
Friday,
good
I was
for
like-
that's good for Magic.
Yeah.
I think it's bad for the event coordinators. They should, you gotta limit, because otherwise some people won't go.
Well, I mean, they have to legally limit. There's a max occupancy, so I'm sure they stayed to that. But
Yeah.
as you got to think, those booths for the stores take up a lot of room.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
less room to walk. Everybody looking at cards was extremely difficult. There was always a wall of people, and you'd stand behind somebody waiting to look, and somebody would come up on the other side and like butt in, and like
Yeah.
you were
No
being.
order.
It's just,
Yeah.
it was really tough to look at cards.
Yeah.
There was some cool merchandise I got. There's a company called Heavy Play that makes magnetic deck boxes and stuff and play mats.
Okay, so we're gonna have more things to play with at the table that Duncan
Nice.
provides.
Yeah.
Duncan provides all of
I
our
got a fold up
extra stuff.
play mat, a hard play mat
Really?
from that Heavy Play. And it's magnetic, and so the magnetic deck boxes I got from them will stick to it.
Which I imagine would have been very funny as he put that. So Duncan decided to take a backpack to Las Vegas, which
Yeah.
means the hotel walk over. He had a giant backpack on, which he thought would be comfortable. And then you're coming back. The walk back to the hotel had to be hilarious, as it looks just like Santa Claus, like hunched over, trying to get back to the hotel.
Yeah. I got the big backpack, the
Yeah.
bag in this hand,
Yeah.
the bag in this
Right.
hand. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was just packed to the walls. There was, like I said, that magnetic, I'd seen them at other events. Now, their sleeves, by the way, wait till you guys see these sleeves. They're the easiest shuffling sleeves you've ever seen.
All right.
They're
That's good.
amazing. And
How
they
many
have
did you get for
rounded
us?
edges.
Yeah, where's our stuff?
Yeah.
All this is fine and dandy, but where's our stuff?
Where's my stuff that you got me?
Well,
I
I
mean,
got
next
you.
time-
I got you stuff.
Did you? Where is it?
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of food in the fridge with other people's names on it that I can give to you.
Oh, okay. That's-
Also, I had lots of work for you ready when you came back, so I don't know what you're
Yeah,
complaining
yeah,
about.
that's
That's-
true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both just so giving.
Thank you for recognizing.
So there was also, this year they did some cool stuff. The vendors had some giveaways.
Yep.
And they would utilize your badge to make sure like you didn't sign up more than once, which I
Right.
thought was a great idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
One of them, like in a couple weeks, I'll find out if I won a collector box of Final Fantasy. Ooh, which is the other thing. So, all right, we're gonna have a little contest here.
Okay.
How much? Now they gave all premium and up attendees. So that premium is below the Black Lotus and the Ruby,
Okay.
but above the standard ticket.
Right.
They gave all of us 3 collector booster packs, okay, of
Okay.
Final Fantasy,
Okay.
as well as 2 Avacyn Pilgrim text lists
Okay.
and Final Fantasy Clive's buddy dog. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah, Clive, Cloud's Companion. That's what it's called. Clive, Cloud's Companion.
Don't say that
Um,
3 times fast.
And
Maybe do.
so, but how much do you think collector booster packs were selling for at the con?
For Final
Considering
Fantasy?
they gave them away, 3 a piece, and to, I would say more than half the people that bought a not Ruby or Lotus ticket.
How does the rules of this contest work?
Are we doing Price is Right rules? We gotta stay under but closest?
No, just closest at all.
Just closest period?
Yep.
And we're talking about the Final Fantasy collector packs?
Yeah, just a pack, not a box.
Just a single pack of
a
Final
single
Fantasy?
pack.
Okay.
I'll give Johnny an advantage. I'll go first.
Okay.
So I'm going to say $36.
Okay.
For a single pack of Final Fantasy,
Yes.
I'm gonna say it was $74.
Oh my god.
So let me tell you, you are $4 off from what they were buying them from us for.
No
70?
way.
Yes. $100 a pack.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
How does that make any sense?
Because everyone wants there's so many good cards that are worth so much. Because all the Chocobos still haven't been found, right?
No, but number 1 was,
Number 1 was found, but
And-
there's still
and the guy who got
65?
number 1 at the con, I believe he bought it at the con, I don't think he's the one who opened it.
Right.
He has one of
So
every color.
you walk
Yeah.
in there and you make $300?
Well, I mean, you're not selling them for 100, the shops are.
Okay,
The
well,
shops
how
are
much
giving
you
you
buy them
70.
for? So you got $210?
I could have. I chose the smarter option. If they're worth that now, they're gonna be like the collector packs of Lord of the Rings.
Maybe.
As long as the Golden Chocobos don't get
Maybe.
open,
I don't think so.
it will go up
You
in
should have
price.
got your $210.
No, we will see who has the last laugh.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
you know me. I'm lucky I didn't just open them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I probably would have just opened them because I
wild.
haven't purchased any collector packs from Final Fantasy.
But I don't think you will either at that price.
No.
No, here's the crazy thing. While this was going on, they were still on TCG for 20.
That's crazy. That's insane.
So why don't you just buy 3 on TCG Player for
Because
$60
the instant
and sell
gratification.
yours for
But
$210?
here's the thing.
No, but you still get your 3 boosters you get to keep. You could have sold yours for $210 and bought a whole bunch. You didn't do that? Oh Oh my head,
But
Duncan. You
what
could have
if-
bought 10 packs and sold your 3.
Well, you know,
We'll see.
I didn't want to go through all that. Like I said, we're lucky I didn't open them. I have a problem. I know I do. I'm going to put these away. I'm going to check them in a year or two, and we're going to see what they're worth. Because
I mean, I
Lord of
would.
the Rings, a collector booster box of the holiday edition, which did not have any chance for the 101 ring,
Right.
right? $2,100.
It's a pretty penny.
That's crazy.
I mean, the only thing I would say is if the golden chocobos keep getting open and found, I feel like they're going to go down and down, and
Yeah.
like it will plummet.
But
after
that's
the
what
last
people
one gets
said
pulled.
about Lord of the Rings
Well,
once the One Ring was
but
found, which it did dip.
The Lord of the Rings thing is was way more of a limited run than the collector booster packs.
Nobody knows that.
That holiday run was limited.
The holiday
that's the
one
one that's
was,
worth a lot.
But it's the same cards except for some of the rares.
It doesn't matter. That run was limited.
Yeah.
That specific.
Because doesn't it have a
Booster.
different logo too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does.
That's why. That's why. it's
No,
worth-
just the newly printed cards. The ones that we're saying.
Actually, I take it back, Duncan. It's your money, so I don't. You're absolutely right. Your cards will be worth a ton of money. You made the right decision.
I'm telling you, you wait and see.
Well, it doesn't matter.
And
You're
you're
not going
going
to
to
sell
see-
it anyways.
if
It
the
doesn't
pri-
matter if it's worth more
If
or
the
less.
prices on TCG haven't gone up now, they will, because there's no way these shops were going to. They were still buying them at the end of the day Sunday. If they only thought this was the market
but
there.
they were all. That's why they were doing it. They knew they could sell it for 100. I bet they did. So they bought it for 70, sold it for.
But that's what I'm saying. They were still doing it at the end of the day on Sunday when it's over. They were still buying.
I don't know what their plan was for that. That was maybe
Because
sold.
it is such a hot commodity, the price is
Yeah.
going to go up.
That's wild.
And even if all the serialized are found, there's still neons.
Yeah, which we don't know how many of the neons they.
Nobody
printed.
knows. So
Nobody
there's
knows.
always the possibility that you get, the black one or the.
Yeah, which I think the black one's still the most expensive at like
I think
a
it
little
is.
over 2.
I do know that the one Taylor got dropped.
Yeah, the
A
neon
lot.
pink. It was originally 1,600. Last time I looked, it was down to like 13 or 1,200.
Oh no, it went down to like 700.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. Now maybe it went back up. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't looked since when I did the box opening. That was the last time I looked.
That's
so.
that's a tough thing about this. It is definitely. I mean, it's Las Vegas. So
Yeah.
gamble.
I felt bad though for the people that were there that had never really opened Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because the price in most markets was started well above MSRP.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky that we have a shop that doesn't do that doesn't gouge, that tries to
Yeah.
be fair.
Yeah, which there's probably a lot of shops that do that. It's not
Hopefully.
just ours.
Not a lot in our area.
Also, it's not ours, it's Duncan's. So I don't
That's
know why are we changing the way this
I
works.
never said it's not yours. I've just said it's mine.
That's a really.
They're not mutually
That's a
exclusive.
long walk for a short drink of water, my brother.
All right, John.
All right.
Oh, don't call me that.
No, so I think that's it. We didn't have any pro tips for you this week. Slightly shorter episode. We just wanted to give you these quick bits of news and just kind of go over some things briefly. But thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for listening. You can always find us at youtube.com/@commanderspod. You can support us patreon.com/commanderspod. Email us cast@commanderspod.com if you want to complain about Jeff's attitude.
Yeah.
If you want to give Sloan some some fashion tips. If you want to whatever it is, any suggestions, comments, concerns, ideas, whatever you got, we want to hear it. Send it there. You can always find us on your favorite streaming podcast service. And just one last thing, don't forget, play bold, swing wide, and don't forget to pay the one.
Commander's Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan guide the way in the world of EDH we play. So tune in, friends, let's fly and go. In the Commander's Pod, the love will show. From our decks to yours, we share the spark in this world of magic. We'll leave our mark.